for a while, Bob. I must admit, I tried meditation for a while, and I gotta tell you, it's hard. At least for me, that's my personal experience, right? It's hard.
I'm gonna say it's hard because I don't think that you probably had this idea of meditation that it was about quieting your mind, and you found that you couldn't. It was hard to do that.
So the way that
It's not about quieting your mind.
it's not about quieting your mind. So the way that I heard you should do it, but probably I'm probably doing it wrong. Is like whenever there's something a thought, there's something comes up, you should note it down. Like, oh, is this a thought or a feeling? Okay, it's a thought. It's good or bad. It's
Way
bad.
way too complicated.
Yeah,
Way too complicated.
exactly. I was going
So
nuts.
so let me tell you what the instructions would be. What would sound like.
Okay, okay.
Okay. So if I was going to give somebody the instructions or guide them in a meditation, it would sound something like this. Okay, so the first thing you do is take a couple of deep breaths, and then notice whatever physical sensations you might have. Like, do you feel your butt against the chair? Do you feel your clothes against your body? Okay, so you can't feel anything except in this present moment. And so when we ground ourselves in our physical feelings, we are coming back to this moment. We're in this present moment. But once we kind of get there, I'd say, okay, so let's make an intention. Let's just say that we want to pay attention to our breath. Okay, so we'll feel what our breath feels like. Maybe you feel it in your chest. It rises and falls. You feel some coolness around your nostrils. Wherever it is, we just say that we're going to pay attention to that feeling. Then within about 3.6 seconds, your brain's going to go nuts.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to start thinking about this and that and the other thing. But because you said, I'm going to pay attention to my breathing, eventually what'll happen is your mind will go, hey, psst, you're not paying attention to your breathing.
Yeah.
And when that happens, you'll have a whole flood of judgments will come into your mind. But when those judgments finally say everything that they got to say, then you can always say to yourself, well, let me go back to my breath and start over. Let me begin again. And then within 6 seconds, your mind's going to go off again. And then, psst, hey, you're not paying attention to your breath. Oh, yeah. So come back and begin again. Psst, and begin again. See, it's not that your mind wandered that is where the healing occurs. Where the healing occurs is coming back and beginning again. That's where the healing happens, because by coming back and beginning again, what you're saying to yourself is, I can fail and begin again. It's okay. I can fail and begin again. It's okay. That builds up a sense of self-efficacy, that sense of, I can do this. I can get thrown off the saddle and I can get back up on the saddle. And by repeating that over and over, you start to build up neural pathways of self-confidence. And it is the self-confidence that you build up by beginning again, by failing and beginning again, failing and beginning again, failing and beginning again. It's the neural pathways that you build up by going through that and repeating it that gives you the tolerance to deal with the discomforts of life. See, if you have discomfort and you can't deal with it, it's really bad.
You don't grow.
But if you can deal with it, if you can tolerate it, you become stronger and stronger. And by comparison, the feeling of discomfort is less and less bothersome. So life will throw the pain at you, but you've got a big tolerance for the pain. So who cares? So that's what it's about. It's about building up the self-confidence, building up your sense of self-efficacy, returning, beginning again, returning, beginning again. And then as a side benefit, at some point you notice that all of a sudden you can maintain your attention on things longer. And when you lose your attention, you can come back to your attention much quicker. It's just a skill building process. You start off, you suck. But then after time, you build up this skill.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like, if you go out to play tennis, you're not going to hit it over the net every day, every time. You're going to hit it you're going to suck. You practice and you practice and you practice and you get better.
Oh, but it's a hell of a skill. It's powerful. I mean, if you know how, if you develop this skill, you're gonna develop self confidence.
Hmm.
Like that's powerful for everything. And then you can take that and then go play tennis. You might even play tennis even better, you know.
Uh-huh.